Hey y'all, happy Monday. So as the title says, things are starting to heat up in our eBay store. But that doesn't mean sales, that means it's literally getting hot. Temperatures were up into the high 90s today, which means we are very quickly approaching summer. And as great as the summertime is for sourcing, it is awful for working out of an outside storage unit. We did go sourcing this weekend, hit up a bunch of yard sales, and you guys, I fell into an Anna Lee trap again. This time it's over 50 dolls, but these are all vintage and they still have their tags, which is super cool. So those are going to be fun to add to the store coming up. But like I said, it is super hot in here. I literally feel like I'm melting and can only handle being here for a couple hours at a time as opposed to playing a full 8 or 9 hour day. So I'm going to have to start getting creative about getting more work done in less time or starting to do a little bit of work at home. Maybe it's a good time to start taking some of my smalls home to take photos of and to list. Our first item going out is going to be this little kitty cat sitting on a fence, vintage jelly jar, and I think it's made by Anchor Hawking. Paid $0.25 for it at a yard sale. It sold for $11.95. Now, I learned something recently. I think I was listening to the radio and they said that there was a 20th anniversary special of Hannah Montana and it was on Disney Plus, and it was so popular. It actually had more live streams than Taylor Swift's Eras Tour when it hit the Disney Plus app, which tells me there is a market for Hannah Montana stuff. So when I found these two songbooks at a yard sale last weekend, for 25 cents a piece, I snatched them up and I decided I would bundle them, put them together, one listing for $29.95, and they sold within hours of listing them. I only have 50 cents into the combined set. So that was a great sale, but this one was even better. We're going to call this our sale of the week. I was at the thrift store recently and I saw these new old stock floral embroidered hangers and I said, well, let's look them up, and the comps were really good, you guys. So I picked them up. I ended up getting 10 total and I put them into sets of 2. I paid $1.99 a piece. This set of 2 sold for $79.90, and we still have 4 sets left to sell, but either way, I'm way in the profit. Now this is a fun little item that I picked up at an estate sale. It was in the garage and it's from the teacher and parent store, which is out of business here now, but it used to be very popular back in the day. It's a bag of turquoise. I paid 50 cents and sold them for $17.46. Made sure that I noted it's not tested, so I can't guarantee it's true turquoise, but still a cool thing. And now we have this adorable little monk/Santa Christmas decoration going out, made in Japan. I paid $1 at an estate sale. It sold for $13.83. Now, this next item is really nice. Whenever I go to the thrift stores, I usually try to check out their glasses area. At Goodwill, it's in with all the other accessories like wallets and hats. And at our local children's hospital store, they have like a special bin for them. But I always look for designer brands. Like in this case, these are Oakley conductor glasses in a polished chrome finish, and I grabbed them for $1.99. They sold for $38.83, so a great pickup there. Now this next item is a not so great pickup because it's been hanging around forever. So I definitely had a sale running this weekend and was happy to move out some of this old stock. That was the goal, is to move out old stuff taking up space. And this is a vintage new old stock Electrolux vacuum bag. I paid $0.10 for it at the bins. It only got $4.17. Probably not picking those up again, but definitely glad they sold. Now this little tin here is a set of vintage fishing hooks, all different sizes. I don't think there's quite 40 in there, but I definitely showed how many there were in the photos. I paid $0.25 at an estate sale. It sold for $9.95. Now I know there's a lot of people who don't like going to estate sales because they can be overpriced, which they definitely can, but my favorite thing is hitting an estate sale in the last couple of hours of the last day. A lot of times you're going to get some good deals because it's a now or never thing for them. And we picked up a bunch of pins at an estate sale, and a bunch of them were actually from Ski Mountains, which you know is a really good deal. Paid 10 cents, it sold for $14.95. I don't know why the ski market is so collectible, but it really is, so keep an eye out for that stuff. Next up is another last minute estate sale pickup. Got a bunch of American Girl doll shoes. These are little black velvet ones made for the Pleasant Company. Paid $0.25 a pair. These sold for $11.95. And we're starting to see some movement again in our Annalie doll section, which is very nice because they take up a ton of space. We have 2 Halloween fall themed dolls going out today to the same buyer. So we got this little witch pumpkin character here. It's actually a lot bigger than it looks in the video. And we have a scarecrow going out. Going to the same person, so we have $2 into these two, and they sold for $26.71 combined. Now we're heading over to our media section, and you guys, I'll be honest, one of my toxic traits as a reseller is not looking up how much new old stock media sells for. If it's super cheap, I almost always pick these tapes up if they're a quarter. This one sold for $5.06 and sold very quick, but sometimes they just sit around forever. So definitely want to look that new old stock up if you find it. Now we have another songbook going out. This time it is Guitar Tabs, and it is Green Day International Super Hits, so their greatest hits songs. Great little compilation here. I actually had the CD in high school. I paid a quarter at a yard sale. It sold for $8.37. Now, I'm not a big fan of purchasing and reselling electronics. I feel like there's a lot of risk, but this looked like new old stock to me. So I grabbed this omnidirectional microphone from an estate sale. Don't know anything about it, but it looks new to me. So we listed it as such. I paid $1. It sold for $16. Somebody sent me an offer and I accepted. Now, one thing I definitely have on sale this weekend, which 30% off, and that sale's still running throughout the week, is my coffee mugs, because I need to clear some space. So I was happy to see this Snoopy and Woodstock Hallmark mug go out. I paid 99 cents at Goodwill. It sold for $12.57. If you've been eyeing anything, definitely check the store out. We've got a 30% off sale going on a lot of different items. This is an item that I found at the bins, and it's actually very lightweight. It's a stud sensor for finding studs in a wall. I paid 10 cents by weight. It sold for $8.95. It also has been hanging around forever. Probably wouldn't pick that up again. Now we have a toy from that thrift store toy box going out. Only have 10 cents into these figures. I found a bunch of these little Funko horror figures in that box, and I lotted them up, but there was actually 2 of this guy, so I listed him separately. I paid a dime. He sold for $5.95. I was definitely in an accepting offer type mood this weekend because I did take a lot of them, including an offer on my remaining stock of these Cool Lace vintage 1990s shoelaces. And the person offered me $5 a piece for all 5, which I accepted for $25. They would have originally sold for $7.95 is what I think I had them listed at. So to get them all gone and, just kind of move on, definitely a great profit there. I only had 10 cents a piece into them. Another pair of American Girl doll shoes are going out now. These ones are pink and they're plastic. Pleasant Company sticker on the bottom, which is nice. Paid a quarter for them and they sold for $8.46. Now this next item is kind of an interesting one because it's definitely the mid-century modern aesthetic. It's an ice bucket and it's a 2-layer, so it actually splits in the middle, 2 different trays. Very cool looking, but I can't authenticate it that it's actually vintage. So when somebody sent me an offer for $14.85, I accepted. It takes up a lot of space and I'm happy to clear that room on that shelf. That's actually a shelf I put a lot of stuff on, so it's nice to have that space. Now, I told you about our patch and keychain buyout that we did recently at that highway sale. This dude was part of that buyout. I paid a quarter a piece for those items. He sold for $9.95. For some reason, that kind of sexy novelty stuff sells really well. Go figure. And at that same highway sale, I picked up these cute little squirrel Hallmark salt and pepper shakers. I have sold the boy one before just as a trinket, but this is the first time finding the set. I paid $1 at that big flea market I did my live during, and it sold for $11.95 for the set. Now we're heading into our linen cabinet, which you guys I can actually get to because my bowling balls are elsewhere right now. And we are looking for napkins, and I do not see the ones that I am looking for here, so I had to grab my stool, but I finally found them and I didn't see them because they were right up against the little front door part. This is a set of 4 vintage Vera Newman napkins. If you don't know Vera Newman, I'll try to show you the logo here. That stuff sells really great for good prices, nice vintage pieces. So if they're cheap enough, I pick them up. Those were only $1 and somebody sent me an offer for $20. I accepted. Speaking of offers, somebody sent me an offer for $5 on this quilt block pattern, and then a couple hours later sent me another $5 offer for another set. So they got two. I have 10 cents a piece into these, so 20 cents turned into 10 bucks. Next is another recent pickup. You guys know geese seem to fly off the shelves on eBay. I can't explain it, but it's what people are into right now. And I found this vintage napkin holder at an estate sale. I paid $1. It sold for $15.95. Has some condition issues, but I definitely made sure to point that out in the photos and the listing. Now we have a plastic cup going out, and of course it's the one on the bottom. Keep these all stacked up to save on space. It is this Michael Jordan's McDonald's cup. This is from 1995. And for some reason we went to an estate sale that this person probably kept every souvenir cup they'd ever bought anywhere, and they only charged 10 cents a piece. So we picked it up. We accepted an offer of $5. He's been hanging around for quite some time. You would think Michael Jordan would be more popular, but it is McDonald's, so they probably produced millions of them. And because it was Jordan, they probably held on to it. So not as much demand for those. Now this is a cool thing. This is a vintage column, like ledger logbook made by the company Sterling. And this was actually in the bins, the book bin at the bins, and you can see a couple pages have been torn out of the front, but it only cost me 50 cents. It sold for $8. I like that kind of old office stuff, so I picked it up and it finally sold. Now this is a towel that we got recently at an estate sale. We paid $1 for it. It is Fieldcrest. It's a hand towel, and you know, it's not in perfect condition, but I think the colors and overall the condition looks pretty good. Paid $1. It sold for $17.95. And one last item going out today. This is something we got in an estate sale last summer, and I thought it would sell quickly, but it didn't. It's just now going out. This is Coach branded fabric cleaner. So like to clean a Coach purse or, you know, really any fabric, I guess. I paid $1. Somebody sent me an offer for 10. I accepted. So in total, we have $22.16 into all of these items, which it's right at 30 that we sold over the weekend, and they totaled $486.36 in sales, which is 21 times our money. And fortunately, most of it is going to be some easy packing, which is great because I am sweating to death in here. So happy they're all packed up, and I'm going to hit some AC. See you tomorrow with another video of what's sold.